Hi everyone, Heather here from the Transformation Roundtable. So about 2 months ago, I purchased a weighted blanket, and I promised everyone I was going to do a review on it, but I really wanted to put it through the ringer first and get some good testing. So 2 months later, I'm finally doing the review, and I promised the company who graciously let me have this blanket to try. I promised them an honest review, and so that's what I'm going to do today. Um, the premise behind a weighted blanket is deep pressure stimulation. Deep pressure stimulation is a wonderful tool. It's been used with autistic children for a long time. My daughter has a tic disorder, and so things like deep pressure stimulation really help her. What it does is it's kind of like the feeling of a hug. It gives you that calm sense, and deep pressure stimulation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what gives us that feeling of calm. And the reason it does it is because when you use DPS, it actually releases endorphins, which are your feel-good hormones. So that's the things that you feel when you've been held, cuddled, given a hug, things like that. But the other thing is, some of the hormones that it releases also help with workout recovery. And so, bear with me when we go over this. So this is the blanket. This is the one that I got from Luxome. It's Luxome. I did a lot of research on these for a long time and watched as companies started coming out with them, and I decided to try the Luxome blanket. So what I got was the blanket, and I think it's the medium size. It's the one adult size. It's 15 pounds. And I got this one with the dual coat. So this is what they call their minky side, so it's kind of plush. And this is the bamboo side. It's cooler, and it's been really nice. I didn't think I'd like it. And I've been sleeping, because it's summer out, I've been sleeping with this side on, and I don't sweat in bed. I still am warm, because I like to be warm. I'm still warm, but I'm not overly hot with this side. When I got it, I did sleep with this side, and it felt luxurious. I do not use a sheet or any other blanket with this. It's a good size blanket. There's a lot of blanket here. It completely covers me just enough so that when I'm laying there, it drapes over me, and there's several inches to each side. So this is a great size. 15 pounds. It's a little unwieldy, picking it up and carrying it. But I was pleasantly surprised that it comes with a bag. You can easily fold up the blanket, slip it in the bag, and carry it somewhere if you need to. So some of the things I was concerned about when getting a blanket was wear and tear, zippers. So the zipper on this is really interesting. It's a hidden zipper, and it took me about 5 minutes this morning to actually find the zipper. This is the only sign of a zipper, is that little tiny pull. Otherwise, it's completely hidden. It doesn't feel, you can hardly even feel it. And that's really great. When you unzip this, you get into the real blanket. This is just the covering. And it's a really nice plush blanket. And if you look, here's one of the squares. This is where the glass beads are. These glass beads are like, I think they said like a millimeter or something. I mean, it's crazy. You can barely feel them. It feels like sand in there amidst a bunch of padding. So it's a thick plush blanket. You don't really feel the beads in there, but this is as far as the beads can go. Look at that, just that one square. So any of the beads that are in there, they have to stay in this area, which makes this really great, because the beads don't slide into larger pockets and really weigh you down unnecessarily. This is one of the only companies that actually does their blankets by, they don't go by your size. They have a general weight for the size of the blanket. And I thought that was a little crazy at first until I started using it and realized that by making these pockets in here so small that the beads don't shift. And if they shift in a larger blanket, what ends up happening is you get so much weight at the bottom of the blanket that it kind of makes you feel trapped. This applies the weight evenly, and you don't feel trapped at all. You feel really comfortable, like you're being hugged, and it's very, very comforting. The blanket, this whole thing is washable. I have not tried it yet. I have a front loader, and I would probably want to do it in a commercial washer because it is heavy. I don't know how it would do. And this covering is washable, and this washes up beautifully. It also ties. These are one of the ties right here. It ties the covering, the duvet cover, ties right onto the blanket. And there's a ton of ties around here. So one of the things I noticed is this blanket, if you have a blanket, a quilt or something at home that has a duvet cover, a lot of times you pick that up and the inner blanket sinks in the duvet cover. This one doesn't. I mean, I can move this all over the place and it doesn't. It only moves that much. See, right there? That's as much as it moves, but it's tied right here. And there's another tie down here. So this is really nice. It doesn't move out of the duvet cover. Speaking of moving, look at how nice this thing moves. And can you hear that? You don't hear the beads, the sand, the glass beads. You don't hear them rustling and making noise. There's really no unusual noise to this blanket. It's just kind of like a comforter that you have on your bed anyways. This is made really, really well. I'm actually really impressed. The stitching on the inside blanket is so tiny. Those beads don't escape from one pocket to the other. You can look here. You can't even see that stitching very much. You know, it's super, super tiny. So the beads don't switch from one pocket to the other. I did find that the beads do move in their pockets a little bit, and you kind of have to expect that. But you can find those pockets, and you see, I've kind of roughed up the blanket this morning. You can kind of feel if they've pocketed. There's one right here that has, and literally all I have to do is pull the two sides of that pocket apart and shake it, and they redistribute. So, you know, I get up in the morning and I just kind of shake it a couple of times and I leave it. Downfalls. It is heavy, and it took me several days to get used to. Now it doesn't feel heavy unless I'm carrying it, but getting under it doesn't feel heavy. It does take some time to get used to sleeping with it. I found that I want the whole blanket on top of the bed. I don't want any coming off the side because it will slowly slide off, especially since these materials are so luxurious. They'll just slide a little bit, and then you start losing that feeling of comfort. So I make sure when I go to bed that I pull the whole blanket up on the bed. The other downside, which is an offhanded downside, is I sleep so much better. So I usually only get about 5 hours of sleep a night, maybe 6 hours. And that time that I was sleeping I was tossing and turning. My indigestion would kick up, or my back pain would kick up, and I just never got really good deep sleep. I sleep crazily deep with this. I don't have weird dreams like I normally do if I sleep deep. I'm in a good deep sleep. The downside of that is that occasionally I do wake up, I have sciatica, I do wake up with a little back pain because I actually don't turn over that much. And so for the first time probably in my life, I've stayed in one position for hours and hours at a time. And if that's the worst I can complain about, I'm really happy. I feel refreshed when I get up in the morning. I feel much more awake. I'm ready to tackle a day. I get up at 4:30 every morning. So being able to wake up that early and ready to go. I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm ready to go to the gym. Speaking of the gym, The other thing I've noticed with this is after a workout, especially one of my hard ones, if I'm doing, a 45-minute yoga workout and then trying to get an hour of swimming in, which is about a mile for me, I can get sore by the end of the day. But when I wake up the next morning, I'm not sore. Deep pressure stimulation really helps with workout recovery. I have rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia, and I really contribute feeling better to this. Again, my muscles are able to recover faster because of the hormones and the endorphins that this releases. This is just a luxurious, wonderful feeling blanket. I don't ever want to be without one. I love this thing, and so I highly recommend, if you're interested in a weighted blanket, to contact Luxome, Luxome. And I will tell you, their customer service is amazing. Some of the best customer service I have ever had with any company. They are phenomenal. They will talk to you. They will really go through things with you. They have a whole bunch of different fabrics, I guess, and different covers, and now they're coming in colors. I love having the option of having the minky on one side and the bamboo on the other, so this makes this blanket work for me around the year. The other thing I will tell you about this that really shocked me, I have dogs and cats, and this thing does not collect fur. So, I mean, I'm picking out a couple pieces here and there, but I have cats and dogs that lay on this. It's held up great, even to nails. The fur doesn't weave in. This is just an amazing, amazing blanket and a great tool for my health. So, I seriously suggest, if you're looking into a weighted blanket, don't look any further. This one cost comparably to other blankets, and in fact is not as expensive as some others. It's a newer company, a smaller company, but I'll tell you, it's so worth it, and they really stand by their products. So I want to thank Luxome for granting me this blanket. I really appreciate it. You guys have just really, really saved me, and I hope this review helps a bunch of other people. Just enjoy. If you get one, enjoy. Give yourself some time to get used to it. But I'll tell you, I don't think you'll be sorry. If you like a ton of blankets on you, but you get too warm, this is the way to go. Guarantee it. All right, guys, I'm off to the gym and to the pool. Everybody have a great day.